Yay Networks.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to another Spill the Beans podcast. I need a new intro.
I'm shy. Guys, this is the video that you've been waiting for. You guys are probably like, dang, these guys went silent on all socials. Like, what the heck is going on?
Yeah.
So, honestly, guys, this is like before everything happened. So, we haven't even talked to anyone about it. So, we're just going to kind of spill all the beans right now.
Yeah, we leave. Today's Tuesday, and we leave on Thursday morning. Wait, babe, we're not even announcing it. We're just talking about it already. Just say it. Let it out.
It's because this is the first time I'll ever announce it because we haven't even talked about it anywhere. But yeah, guys, my residency got approved. I am now a United States permanent resident.
Oh, my.
I have my green card. Oh. I'm literally tearing up because I feel like todavía no me cae el 20,
You haven't told anyone.
I haven't told not a single soul except for my mom and my dad and my sister-in-law. Yeah. Those are the only people that know right now. And it's just like I told Jonathan, it's probably not going to hit me until we get to Mexico and like I'm there and I know that I don't have to come back or that I'm not nervous to come back. It won't hit me until
we come back.
And then we just pass through
because we can go to Mexico whenever, even before your residency. We can get on a bus and go. The problem is coming back, you know?
Oh my God, guys. This has been like I've been waiting for this day for what, 24 years ever since I came into the US. But I don't even know, I don't even know where to start because every single time we upload a podcast, there is at least, and I'm not kidding, at least one comment saying, when is the immigration update? Every time I do a Q&A, when's your immigration status update? Every time we do a J&J vlogs, when are you going to become, when do you get your green card? When are you guys going to go to Mexico? And any status update. And I feel like it's not until you're in it that you're like, oh dang, I wish I knew someone to talk to about all these questions that I have, you know? But basically the reason we hadn't been talking about it was because there was no status update. We were just kind of waiting for our interview, you know? But I don't know. What do we say, babe? What do you want to say? I'm shy.
That's crazy, guys. Yeah,
literally.
We got it. Well, let's just talk about how it went down, you know?
Okay.
How you got in the mail and stuff. That way people can get an idea, you know?
Okay, so back in probably I'd say the end of February, I went in to renew my DACA. Mm-hmm. So I got that and I already had my process coming, right? So my process was already in process. Obviously, we're just kind of waiting for the interview, kind of waiting for all of that to happen. But prior to that, I think in December, I had to go in for my biometrics for my process with our case, our marriage case. So then everything was kind of jumbled, right? So whatever, we get to, it's a few weeks before I give birth and I get a letter in the mail and it says, oh, your case is approved or something. But then I got my work permit card. So I was like, oh, this is just my DACA, you know? So I was like, whatever, it's just my DACA. And I put it away. But then I was like, wait, is it? So then I just took a picture of it and I sent it to my attorney. And I was like, hey, I got my DACA in the mail. Thank you. And she's like, oh, no, that's not your DACA. That is your work permit authorization from your case with your husband. And I was like, oh. She's like, yeah, so it's moving forward. That's a good sign, you know? I was like, oh, that's amazing, right? After you get that, you kind of just get a little excited.
Because it said... Yeah. What did it say?
It said work authorization card with advanced parole. And I was like, wait a second, girl. I know what advanced parole is because Jonathan and I did that in 2022 when Franco was born, which is when you go out of the States for an emergency, right? So I tell her and she's like, yeah, so basically with this card, you can go to Mexico, but you cannot exceed 3 weeks. She's like, you can definitely go if it's an emergency, you know, if you really need to be there for a week, 2 weeks, you can go and come and parole safely back in. And I was like, what the hell, girl? Are you sure? So I ended up telling my my suegros and my husband's family. And I remember one of your uncles was like, well, pack your bags. Go to Mexico for 2 weeks. And I remember just telling his mom, I feel like we're so close to getting it that I'd rather just wait because it's if you guys have never ever done advanced parole, it's probably one of the scariest dang things that you'll ever have to do in your life because it's you're going to your birthplace for the first time in your life, consciously, and to not know if the immigrant is going to parole you safely back in, you know, because it's not 100% guaranteed. You can go up to customs and they'd be like, no, like you're not gonna parole back into the US, you know. So I just remember like the first time that we did it, my lawyer was like, just make sure like you have all the proof, you have the pictures, make sure that when you go and talk to the immigrant, like just tell him, hey, like this is where we went, and show him the pictures. Don't give him your phone, you know, a bunch of things like your lawyer is going to prep you for. And I remember like paroling back in, I was like, it was probably one of the craziest feelings, no? Because I was like, what if they just tell me like, no, actually get back on the plane, you're going back to Mexico, you know, because we're already in Dallas. So I was like, no, like I'm just gonna wait, and I'm not even gonna try going and risking it for a week. Like I just want to have my residency. And so since we got my work permit, I was like, okay, pues aquí ya nomás I just wait for my little email saying that I have an appointment for my interview, you know.
Yeah, because you weren't sure if you were gonna get an appointment or not, right?
Yeah, so my attorney basically said like, we just have to wait to get any notification from USCIS. She's like, but basically what we've been hearing is that with all the evidence that you sent in, sometimes they look through your paperwork and they don't even need to interview you because your marriage looks that legit, that they'll just send you your green card. And I was like, in the back of my mind, I was always like, that would never happen to me. You know, like why would me out of everyone just get their green card in the mail? So she's like, yeah, we'll just wait for that appointment, and then you'll come in and we'll prep you and your husband for the appointment. Just kind of go like practice it, you know. Cause
me too.
Yeah, because
they interview me.
Yeah, they interview both of us.
Heck no, babe.
Like the questions are like, what side of the bed does she sleep on? What kind of PJs does she go to?
No.
But you know, like crazy things like that.
First of all, we don't sleep together, officer.
They would probably not even give it to us if you said that. So yeah, that was one of like my main concerns, because I was like, okay, like we're getting closer and closer, but the interview just scares the crap out of me, because you know, like they just put you on the spot and ask you random questions. They don't even ask you about anything, you know, like they ask you crazy stuff like that.
And they're very intimidating people.
Yeah. So basically, I mean, should I go into all the details or no? Not really.
Not about maybe the case yet, since we're not there and back. I would go more like the day you got the card, you know, like.
Yeah. So basically all of that happened, right? And I was still, well, obviously, like I was still waiting for my DACA to come in, because I had already applied to renew it. So we were just kind of waiting, you know. You guys know that the beginning of July was the craziest for us. We dropped everything. We were moving. And I just remember one time, Jonathan, you went to the house to get our mail.
The old house. To
the old house. You got the mail and then you came. And then you opened it, right?
This show is sponsored by BetterHelp.
Guys, as we grow, we start getting a lot of non-negotiables for self-care time, and mine just so happens to be my sleep time. I have to get at least, and I'm just saying this coming from a parent's perspective, but at least 6 hours of sleep continuously every night. If not, sorry to myself the next morning.
When your schedule is packed with kids' activities, big work projects, and more, it's easy to let your priorities slip.
Yeah, even when we know what makes us happy, it is hard to make time for it. But when you feel like you have no time for yourself, non-negotiables like therapy are very important.
I never skip therapy because it's become part of my routine. Just like going to the gym, running, eating healthy, I feel like taking care of your mind is so important.
Yeah, therapy is such a self-care item for me too, because I get to talk about every single feeling I've had, and I feel like someone understands me.
If you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule.
Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with the licensed therapist and switch therapist anytime for no additional charge. Never skip therapy day with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/spillthebeans today to get 10% off your first month.
That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/spillthebeans. I opened, so there was two things from the IRS.
Not Uncle Sam.
What would it say? Oh, immigration, right? And one of them, I guess we hadn't gotten the mail in such a long time that there was like the one saying that was coming or something before it, right?
Yeah, it was like the approval notice.
Yeah, the approval notice. So I opened that one. So I was like, oh, nice. My honey's going to be really excited when she sees that it got approved. It's a matter of now waiting for the appointment or the card. But there was another one there. But I was like, no andar. I usually never open Blanca's mail, but no sé por qué me ganó la ansia. So I'm like, I'm not going to open two. That's too much metichon, right? I'll open one. So then the other one, I was like, oh, I don't know what the other one is. So then I get home, I was like, babe, there's something. I was more of her excited to read the one I had open, right? Because it said approve. But she kind of like skips over that one and then opens another one.
I opened if you know, like it's a white envelope with the red letters all across it saying like, oh, this is an important card. And I go straight to it because I'm like, oh, I think it's my DACA's here, whatever. Like that's obviously that's a huge relief because when you renew your DACA, like when you get it, you're like, okay, finally I have it for 2 more years. You don't have to worry about it. So I was like, oh, huge relief, whatever. So I just like in the back of my mind. So basically picture this. We're at home. Belen, I just put Belen down to bed. I got out of my super cute outfit. I was looking all crazy. My sister's there. Jonathan is there. Jonathan's like, I remember him. He's like closing the blinds and I'm like just opening it. And literally all I see, it's a green card. Like literally that's why they call it because it's a green card. And it says, United States permanent resident, and I'm like, oh my god, I kind of start freaking out. Yeah,
because you told me it's not that long usually, right? Or
it depends. There's like a 2-year one and a 10-year one, and mine says like I look at it and it's like, oh, expiration date 2034. I was like, shit, I'm a permanent resident for 10 years, my boy.
There was so many. I felt like we were, if you've seen Inside Out, we were like inside Riley's head, like all the emotions. Like Blanca was one of them. I was another emotion, and her sister. Because while you were crying and shaking, I was trying to be reasonable. Yeah, and I was just asking the dumbest question. I was like,
Jonathan was being like my mom, basically.
Yeah, like, you know when you show your mom a TikTok and instead of her laughing, she's like, ¿Quién es? ¿Cómo la conoces a la niña? You know, I was being like that. I was like, babe, where does it say green card? And then, and then Jalissa's like, babe, doesn't say green card. It's just green.
It's a green card.
And I was like, oh, shit. Like, I don't know, you know?
No, but like, as I'm like freaking out, he's like, is it, babe, tell me, should I record? He's over here like trying to get his phone out of his
so then
pocket.
I take out my phone and right away, you know, as a Instagram husband, I start recording right away. And because I was like, if it is or isn't, it's still good. There's been what, babe, 3 other instances where I've recorded you. Yeah, I've recorded you opening stuff, remember?
Yeah, you've like, I
remember. Case of preparation.
And it's never been.
So, yeah, it's never been. Or it's been something else, good news, but not that. And then, so then you're freaking out. I'm asking all these stupid questions, like, where does it say green card? And then another one, I'll just be asking stupid questions throughout, like, the weeks, because I'll be like, oh, baby, and your DACA's still not going to get here? And then you're like, babe, I don't need a DACA anymore.
I'm like, babe, I literally, like, want to shake him and grab his shoulder and be like, I'm a permanent resident. Like, do you understand what this means? I'm also new to it. Like, I don't know anything about it. Like, yeah, he's talking with his, what did you say this morning?
I said today my citizenship privilege, because it's a lot of things. Like, luckily, as far as I know, immediate family, no one has had to go through that except my dad, but I think I was still little.
Yeah, years ago.
Then, today I said that this morning because we were actually at Belen's passport appointment for the emergency passport, so you have to get last minute. And yeah, super cute. Hopefully, should we insert a picture? She looks so cute.
No, she looks so funny.
And so I was like, oh, dang, babe, everything you have to do. And then, because you whipped out your U.S. Mexican passport to show them. And I was like, because they wouldn't take her ID because her ID was still obviously before her residence. And then I was like, babe, why do you look so sad in your passport? And she just looked so sad. And she's like, because I took this picture thinking maybe I'll never get my residency or something like that. And I was like, oh, wow.
Like, I was like, here I am getting my Mexican passport again.
Yeah, like,
you know?
that must feel so shitty. You know?
Yeah, it is a pretty shitty feeling. I just think, like, you don't understand, like, even DACA recipients, like, we don't understand how blessed we are too, you know, because there's people that couldn't even get DACA because it was taken away from us, you know, or from them. Because I remember when like DACA was taken away, thankfully the people that had already had it could still renew. But I'm like, what about, like, there's so many people that need it, you know, just to work here. So yeah, I remember taking my Mexican passport picture. I'm like, damn, I'm never getting my freaking residency. So yeah, I looked really sad, huh? Yeah. Like my aura there was black, literally.
And then so
and then he laughed because he was like, babe, why is your handwriting so silly? And I'm like, because I'm shaking. Like,
that's why I think I said
that's what you said.
Because I was like, I never, like, me personally, I'm gonna speak out of privilege. I never get nervous around cops. I never get nervous in government buildings or anything like that. And I understood today because Blanca has really good handwriting, right? It's nice, big, and chunky. But in the thing she was writing today to fill out for Belen's application, it looked like a silver-toothed kid's writing, guys. Like, I don't know how to describe it. You like Diary of a Wimpy Kids when the bad little kid is writing, like that, like little kid, like the writing you would see with a crayon on a wall from a 5-year-old, like that, like.
Damn. Okay, we get it.
You know. But anyways, so I was like, babe, like, what's going on? She's like, I was just shaking, babe. Like, I was shaking. I was nervous. I was like, oh, baby. I tried to make a joke out of it, but not really. I was like, oh, you get nervous here? Like, why? And I was like, oh, it's because, you know, she told me, she's like, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh, ma'am, I have such a big privilege. Like, these buildings are probably scary for you, sitting and seeing all the immigration, because there are guards there with guns and stuff in different uniforms. They could take you too, you know.
Oh damn. No, but yeah, it's a crazy feeling. So basically, yeah, like Jonathan was just kind of asking crazy questions, and right away it was like it all worked out perfectly because, and it's crazy because it was actually the day that Yadira and Adrian went home. And I remember that day Yadira asked me all about it. She's like, oh, so like how's your process going? Because she used to work for an attorney that helped with immigration cases. And I told her kind of where I was at. She's like, oh, like then it's pretty soon, like hopefully you get it here soon. And we had like Jonathan had just, oh, that's where he was coming home from. From the airport, he passed by to get our mail, and then he came home. And basically I was like, that's crazy, like she just left, we were just talking about it, and like I could have told her like, hey, you know, actually I do have it. But so then Franco was at my parents' house because he was like, it was this whole thing, bro. Basically we had to go, and then I had to come back and watch some shit. It was crazy. But basically my parents were coming home with Franco to drop him off. We were there, it was Jonathan, my sister, and I, and Belen. And then so we're like right away kind of scrambling, like, okay, how do I tell my parents? Like, I want to surprise them with it. And so a mí se me viene la idea that Jonathan had just gone to the house, and I told my parents because we went over and I actually had left Franco there. So when we were there, I was like, oh, Jonathan is going to pass by the house and like get some mail. And so I was like, oh, I'm just going to, I grabbed like a little bowl and like put my green card in it, and then I put a servilleta over it, and I was like, oh, I'm just going to be like, Mom, guess what he found like at the house? Like kind of.
First, babe, you wanted to tell your mom that it was like kind of set it up for a pregnancy.
Oh yeah, pregnancy.
And I was like,
test.
please don't, babe. That is so awkward. Like, no, like we're not doing that to your mom, pobrecita. Like I was just scared that maybe she would have a not so positive reaction, and then it kind of like kills the mood. So then I was like, no, just tell her that you found something or something like that.
No, you and Jimena wanted me to say that. What did you guys had some crazy ideas. So I was like, no, I'm just gonna say like, oh, Jonathan found this and like brought it home from the house. And so yeah, basically that's how we did it. Like they came in, I set up the camera. Our camera is always on the table, so it wasn't crazy. And I was like, oh my god, like ¿qué creen que trajo Jonathan? And Mom's like, es un ratón, like right away. And then my dad was like, nah, no, si fuera ratón no lo tuviera en la mano, and like stuff like that. So yeah, at the end of the day, I just kind of opened it and I was like, look, and everyone got super happy, you know. Yeah. And like no one really talks about this because I feel like this is a little bit deeper, but like I don't even know what it is about me, but I just feel very guilty. Like I've always had guilt just with everything. But as soon as like my mom, like her reaction came, like obviously I started feeling guilty, you know, because I was like, why? Like I have it, but like we still have such a long journey to try to get my parents, you know. So it was like, I know my mom was so happy, and like for me it was like, oh my god, like I just wish this could have been something for all of us, you know, right away. But basically, yeah, they were also happy, and I think just in my mom's brain kind of being like, okay, we're a step closer, hopefully, you know, to me getting it too. So it was just really nice because we were all kind of on the edge of the seat, like, is she gonna get it, is she not, are they gonna interview her, are they not, you know. So it was just a huge accomplishment in our family, you know, to finally have my residency.
So then now that we have the whole backstory in place, let's zoom out or zoom in or fast forward to right now where we're still in a little bit of a predicament. Like right now, my parents are in Mexico. Well, half of my parents. My dad and my brothers are in Mexico. My mom literally came home to Colorado for 2 days to do a house closing. And she was going to go back to Mexico, but we're in this dilemma. We're like, do you want to?
There's so much, guys. Literally, like, the day that we got my residency, Jonathan was like, all right, like, let's pack our bags, let's go.
I wanted to leave that morning.
the next day. But I just kept telling him, like, babe, we just dropped Belle and Frank. We just did this. Like, we have a Vibe and Drop coming. We had a bunch of work that we had. And then on top of that is moving out of our house and, like, into this one and, like, finishing the whole moving process. And I'm like, there's absolutely no way that I could leave right now with all of this in the back of my mind, you know? Mm-hmm. So he was really, like, I feel like you were a little frustrated because you wanted to leave right away.
Yeah, but that not because of the situation. I've always been like that. Like, if I find something fun or cool to do, I don't want to wait. Like, I want to go now.
Yeah, and then I was like, babe, do you see the list of things we have to do? Yeah. Like, it's a lot.
I was like, babe, it's okay. We'll just come back, then move out, and then work, and then let's just go right now. Fluck it. Because my parents were in Mexico.
Guys, I know that family dinners can be so stressful.
From the shopping, planning, and prepping everything to get ready, HelloFresh gets it.
That's why they make it easy by delivering fresh ingredients and picky eater-proof recipes every week.
And HelloFresh's new Build-A-Plate meals are designed to let every member of your household create their perfect plate. No more making multiple dinners to satisfy everyone. Just one meal with so many ways to enjoy.
I love HelloFresh because I really, really like to get Franco's protein in every day, and I don't have to think about it with them. They do all the meal planning for me.
And I love HelloFresh because as a parent of two, it's so quick and convenient. It's one less thing to worry about on our busy day.
And for a limited time, kids eat free. Go to HelloFresh.com/PhilippinesKids to unlock the exclusive offer. 1 free kids meal per box for 2 months while subscription is active.
That's free kids meal just by going to HelloFresh.com/SpillTheBeansKids.
HelloFresh, America's #1 meal kit. And then, guys, this is like...
You good?
No, I'm so tired.
Wakey.
Sorry. So then, this is another thing that I'm just like... crazy how life happens. But his parents always go to Mexico minimum 3 weeks. In July, minimum. All of a sudden they want to come back way earlier than they usually do. So I'm like, no, like there's no way. So I start talking to Yomi. So basically my sister-in-law stayed here because she was very busy. She's literally our right hand for Vibin and Belle and Frank. And so she stayed back. She's working. She's doing all of this. She's leaving to Mexico this week, So we told my sister-in-law, and I told her, I was like, oh, I got my green card. Like, we're going. So we were all so excited, right? She's so happy and excited for us. And then we find out that her parents want to come back early. And I was like, okay, Yomi's like, what can we do to keep your parents there? And I was like, I think we should, because Jonathan went to Mexico for New Year. So I was like, oh, it'll work out perfectly. Like, just tell them that Jonathan is going to go visit your grandma for a few days because he really wants to go and see her. And
potentially me and Franco.
No, but she didn't say Franco. She just said you, I think.
Oh, I thought my dad was hinting at, like, never mind.
No, but then, so Yomi's like, kind of throws it in. And then so his parents are like, yeah, let's stay here for a little bit longer. So then that happens last week. And then this week I hear that my suegra's coming back. That, she has to come back because she's literally has like 4 house closings that she has to come do. So she's like, oh yeah, she gets here on Sunday, leaves Monday or Tuesday the latest. Her flight gets canceled on Sunday. Okay, she gets here on Monday, maybe leaves on Wednesday. No. Actually she doesn't think that she's gonna go back. Like, maybe she's just gonna wait for them to come home with just by themselves. And I was like, no. Literally, I was like Michael from The Office. I was like, no, like our plans. So we're like literally living this life right now in a predicament where we don't. Because another thing is that she just texted us a few hours ago and she was like, hi, like, can we go out to dinner? And we're so busy, guys, because we're literally still finishing up moving. So we're like, we can't go to dinner, but would you like to come over for a coffee later, like at night when the kids are basically down for bed and we're home for sure? And so with that being said, now we don't know if we should like tell her and surprise her today at the cafecito time and then be like, hey, let's all go back. So maybe that gives her a reason to go back. And then we'll just surprise his dad at the airport. There's so much. Literally, I just word vomited.
Yeah, babe, you did.
So what do you think, honey?
And actually vomited in your mouth from breakfast this morning a little bit. No, but yeah, it's like a lot of good stress, It could be bad stress.
Yeah, it's like
ay, me van a deportar y tengo una cita de esto. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, it's good stress. Like, we're going to Mexico. We want to surprise them. But at the end of the day, we just got to relax because we have a house we have to turn back into or else we won't get our deposit. We have
a house we have to fully move into. We have orders that we had to finish, which are pretty much done. And we had a passport to
you
get.
just sprinkle little things like Belen's passport. Oh, it wasn't ready today after the appointment. I have to go back tomorrow all the way to Denver.
Oh my gosh, guys. So basically, this is crazy. We had Belen's passport today, and we're like, no, for sure. Like, Jonathan and I were already like, what are we going to do in Denver for 4 hours, right? And so we're like, yeah, whatever. We'll just go to the mall or something. No, yeah, we do everything pretty smooth, huh? They didn't even ask for her the proof of travel, which I was like, what the hell? This is literally what the reasoning behind coming to the passport agency here is. And they're like, okay. She's like, the delivery will be tomorrow between 2 to 3. We're like, oh. Not us thinking we're going to get it the same day, kind of brainstorming what we're going to do for 4 hours. But now Jonathan has to go all the way an hour out to get her passport tomorrow between 2 to 3, get there at 1:45 just so that you get there on time before they close, you know. And then our freaking flight is that night. Yeah. Well, basically, we have to leave our house at like 2 a.m.
And then I have a soccer game at 9:30. And then on top of that, we were going to leave her parents, obviously, with the Jeep, so they could keep moving out when we weren't here. Well, the Jeep's tags are expired, and my suegro is not about to be driving an expired, vehicle. So I have to go get the new tags for the Jeep, because that's where my police privilege comes in. I've been driving the Jeep without tags for like who knows how long, because Colorado cops are just the best, or the chillest, And I think ever since COVID, they've kind of chilled out. They're like, I guess that became a rule. Like, if you see someone expired tags, like COVID, like, it's chill,
Yeah, after COVID.
And I also think registering your truck is the biggest scam ever, guys. Who's with me? Let's just revolt. Like, how are you going to tell me I have to buy the car, I have to pay taxes on it,
pay insurance.
Insurance every freaking month, and on top of that, every year you got to register it. Register it to who? To who, my boy? Like, oh my God, that is the biggest scam. And there is a few people out there I'll listen to on a podcast every once in a while that they think like me, or I'll see them on TikTok and they're like, let's revolt. Like, no one pay their registration. Like, this is bullshit. Like, what? Like, that is crazy. And obviously, like, on a new vehicle, it's pretty expensive. So, like, if you have like an old car, it's like $80 every year. But like, el jeepecito sí me duele el codo. Pero anyways, yeah, that was my little tangent. But we're super excited nonetheless, guys. We leave Thursday morning, so wish us luck when we're already going to be a weekend.
Yeah, we're already going to be coming back tomorrow. If you guys are watching this on Friday, we come back tomorrow.
Oh, so I guess you've been seeing our stories. It's just, this is the story.
This is like the tea.
You've been seeing our stories, but we're telling you our story. Ooh. But yeah, okay, so we're almost back home.
We're actually home already. But yeah, that's the crazy turn of events. And I feel like it's been kind of mind-blowing to me, because like I told Jonathan, I literally never thought this day was going to come. Like, the very least, my interview, okay, like, that's cool, because you are preparing for an interview, but still you don't know if you're going to get it there, if they're going to approve you there. So it's like the fact that I just got my freaking green card in the mail is beyond me. And I remember I got it on a Thursday, and then I texted my attorney on a Friday, and she didn't text me back till Saturday. And she's like, good morning, Blanca. I'm so sorry. I've been out of town for 2 weeks, and I just checked my notifications today and got notified that you got your residency approved and your green card in the mail. Congratulations. Like, I'm so happy for you. And I'm like, it was like another wave of emotions. I was like, thank you so much. Like, we could not have done this without you. Our attorney was amazing, and our case manager, Nisediga, like
Ramos Law. I truly think Longmont, Colorado has a hidden gem with this immigration law office. Like,
yeah.
I don't know if you can come out of state or if you can do everything over the phone, but if you live in Colorado, guys.
Francesca Ramos
at Ramos Law here in Longmont, Colorado on Main Street. Please tell them we sent you. Like, yes, is it pricey? And I don't think it's pricey.
I don't either.
For like what you get out of it, right? Let's be transparent. It was what, $3,000 to $4,000, the whole process?
I think it was $3,000 to $4,000, and then it, like, basically that's like the threshold, and if you exceed that, it's like $100 an hour after. Okay,
but then you're available with them whenever, 24/7.
You
like,
can just text them,
call. They update you.
They call you all the time.
They help you with other things. So even though we were doing the immigration, when Blanca's DACA was taking too long, or she needed to fill out another application, they would be on it right away.
Or she would call me like, hey, I remember not my case manager, but someone at Ramos Law called me and they're like, hey, I just wanted to let you know that starting this date, they're going to up the price. So if you can renew before, like, that'd be great to keep out.
Little tips like that.
Yeah, like they just call you and they
did we
keep
pay
up
up
to
front,
date
or do we also do payments?
No, they do payments. So they do monthly payments as well. What else do they do?
Please tell them we sent you guys, because we want them to know that, like, they helped us a lot, so we're referring them to you guys.
Yeah, our case manager was Connie. She was amazing. And it's just nice because, like, you go in person and you sit down in front of them and they tell you what it is. You know, like, it's not, you're not talking on the phone for hours. No, like, you go and they tell you, you sit down, ask all the questions, they let you know. You can go in and out, like, they call you and like, hey, could you have this paper? Yes, okay, come drop it off. Like, you don't have to, it's not tedious at all. They make it super easy for you. So please, like, obviously we're not getting anything in return except my
There's
green
no
card.
collab
Thank
with
you.
lawyers, guys.
Bro, I wish, but honestly, like, we will forever recommend them because they helped us get something that means the world to us, you know. So yeah, basically we just can't say more things.
No, but when we come back, we'll go more into detail about everything now that, like, you know,
I guess I'm kind of nervous because so when you do advanced parole, when you parole back into the United States, you go through customs, but it's like, you know how through customs you just show them their things and then you go about your way. No, they like pull you into a little room and then they like question you, you know, and that's another story for another day that I can tell you guys. It was actually a crazy experience, but I don't know, like, are they gonna do that with me now, or since I have my green card they're just gonna be like, okay, thank you, and then you can
think they just go like, thank you.
Stop, guys. And oh my god, like, I never thought this day was gonna come, right? But if you guys know, I always have my favorite YouTubers, and one of my favorite YouTubers for a very long time have been Jess and Gabriel. Well, Jess Conti, but her and her husband have a YouTube channel, and so they had this coming home series when Jess got her residency and she was able to go back to Australia. So I remember watching like the series and the pictures and all of that, and I was like, I just put them in the back of my mind. I was like, this is what my residency is gonna look like. Like, this is exactly what I want. Like, I want to do 3 videos and like surprising everyone and this and that. And then like, I remember I would just sit there and be like, bro, that's never gonna happen to me. Like, I'm never gonna make this video. I'm never gonna take this picture with my passport. I'm never
like why not?
Because like, you just,
I would always tell Blanca, I was like, babe, let's just keep doing the process or start it earlier. And no, my girl over here was scared for so many years.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just like, I can't even explain the feeling that you feel, because like with a lot of things that I like would tell Jonathan, even with the tags, like I'd be like, babe, renew your tags, and he's like, babe, it's literally fine. But it's like, I cannot get behind the wheel because even though I have DACA and I have status here in the sense where I'm here legally and I have a work permit, it's still like getting pulled over by a cop is my biggest fear, you know, even though I know if they're all nice. And like, I've gotten pulled over with Jonathan and he kind of just like, oh, haha, I just got pulled over by a cop. And for me, I'm like, haha, bro, like, this is scary, you know? So it's just a lot of things. So it was just a lot of fear, and there was just so many things. But yeah, basically, like, the fact that in 2 days I'm gonna be able to do this, and I can't even tell you guys, because basically our idea is we fly in Thursday, rent a car, go to San Luis, surprise Jonathan's family, and then we still can't post anything because then we want to drive to Durango and then surprise my family. And then literally the day that I, like an hour after I surprise them, I need to post everything, you know, because I'm going to go literally radio silent on Instagram for 2-3 days. So it's a lot. So yeah, basically I just wanted to say that. I lost my train of thought.
Yeah.
I'm so excited.
We're excited, guys. Hopefully it's going to be so cute, because last time we went was 2 years ago. Franco was 2 months. Now we're going to be back with a 2-year-old, 2.5-year-old.
A potty trained one, might I say.
Woo, sheesh. That's another podcast, guys. Franco is 2 and 6 months, almost 7.
Wait. January, February, March, April, May, June, July. 6. Barely 6.
Oh, 6.
So 2.5. Exactly.
And my boy is on his way to being fully potty trained.
He did it himself, kind of. Because I
wiped?
No. So for me, I'll just tell you guys later, I guess. But it's a crazy story. Like, when they say your child tells you when they're ready, they literally do. But yeah, we're going to go with a 2.5-year-old, almost fully potty trained, with a
Fully
4-month-old baby
talking.
girl. Oh, fully talking a little too much, might I say, these days. A 4-month-old
Just don't
baby
ask
girl.
him qué quiere comer, okay? O qué comió.
Ay, no, por favor.
Guys,
no.
we moved. So the new neighbor we have like the low chicken wire fences.
Mm-hmm.
So Franco's always outside. He's an outside kid, right? Which we love. But our neighbors are also outside, and they're Argentinian, and they are the nicest family we've ever met. By far, the most talkative like neighbors we've ever had. Like someone that actually like talks to you
Like
when they're
someone
outside.
that I would go ask for sugar if I needed sugar.
We're so scared because Franco will go outside, and niños cuentan todo. Like if you ask them, they'll tell you. So the niña, la señora would be like, "Hola, Franquito," or what you say that she calls him?
Flaquito.
Flaquito. I think you heard wrong. I heard
No,
Franquito.
it's Flaquito, babe, I
Pero
promise.
creo que sí le dice Flaquito, you know. And then, ¿qué estás haciendo? And then Franco's like, ¿qué comen? Because they were grilling one time outside. ¿Qué hacen? ¿Qué comen? And then the lady will talk. Y el otro día le regalo. But I'm like, just the day that they ask him, ¿y qué comiste tú, Flaquito? And then right now, guys, all he be saying is, tacos de caca.
And whose fault?
No,
It's
I taught him how to say caca, and
Yeah.
your mom tacos de caca. but then now I'm teaching him. I'm like, ¿quieres tacos de caca o camarones de caca? So we're just scared that the neighbors are gonna ask him one day, and they're gonna be like, we don't know if he's serious.
For real. Save this boy.
But yeah.
But yeah, he's freaking funny. So I don't know, like I see him and like I just wonder, and I've been showing him pictures of everyone and like telling him este es Franco, este es Alfredito, este es tu abuelo Alfredo. You know, like I'm telling him everyone. So like I don't know, like that's gonna be so funny if your grandma asks him something and he says that, you know.
Franco, we have a little cousin named Franco, guys, just in case.
Oh
that didn't make
yeah,
sense.
it's so cute. So I can't wait to see them. The last time I saw them, they were still little, and like now they're way older. And so I was showing him pictures, and I was like, "Mira, este es Franco, tu primo." And then he started cracking up. He's like, "Que no?" Like basically saying like, "No soy yo." And I was like, "No, es que tú tienes un primo que se llama Franco." He's like, "Oh, como yo." I was like, "Sí, como yo." So now he says primo Franco. It's so cute. So I'm like, I cannot wait. And another reason I can't wait, guys, is because Franco goes to the park, he goes out here, and he just cannot communicate with any kid because he doesn't speak English. He understands a little bit of it and speaks a little bit of it, but he's not fluent. So I'm so excited to go to Mexico because I just know like anyone and everyone is going to be able to understand and communicate with him, and that's going to be the best.
And it is like a pride. Like I'm not gonna hide my pride or my proud. Not pride. Pride's not the right word. Like, how do you say I'm proud of someone?
That is your pride.
Is that pride?
Yeah.
Because pride usually is like in a negative.
Really?
Like, oh, you're so prideful.
Oh, yeah.
You know? But, like, yeah, I'm very proud of my son. Like, he speaks Spanish, like, full, fluent Spanish. Like, not your no sabo, which there's nothing wrong with it, guys. At the end of the day, we're Mexican-American, you know, and tenemos que echarle ganas. But for now, for the time being, I'm also not going to shrug off such a big accomplishment that both Blanca and I have done at such a young age, you know, because usually young parents, pues, enseñan puro inglés or whatever, you know, or Spanish is very hard to teach. And we can confidently say that Franco is so fluent in Spanish, and like, it's so nice. Like, we go to parties and there'd be old Mexican people and they start talking to him. They're like, ¿habla español? Like, they're so shocked. ¿Habla español el niño? I was like, sí, pero poquito, ¿verdad? Habla más inglés. I was like, no, habla puro español. And then they'll be like, oh my God. And they'll start talking up a storm with them. And Franco will start talking to them. And it's so cool. So I can't wait to go to like allá en el barrio and mi rancho. And then he's just talking it up with everyone.
Oh,
you know?
I just like, I can't wait for him to talk to your grandpa and your grandma. And
because I
Blanquito.
already have little cousins that can't speak to my grandparents that well in Spanish, you know? So the fact that they're they're great.
Just great, I think.
Great son?
Great grandson?
Great grandson can speak to them fluently is going to be so amazing.
I can't wait. It's going to be amazing. But also, another thing that kind of, I guess, doesn't worry me, but it's like how he's going to act over there. You know, like because like I'm thinking about it now, and I'm just like telling Jonathan, like, Franco is obsessed with horses, and he's obsessed. Like, he was wearing his boots the other day, so I was like, I'm like nervous. Like, what does he wear? Like, I want to get him like shoes that he can run in, because like Crocs is not the vibes, you know, for over there. And I want him to be so tied to his roots that he wears boots and jeans and like gets on horses and he's not scared of them. And like your brothers aren't scared too. What do they do? Alazan los, what are they? Cows?
Yeah.
Borregos?
Sí, los becerros.
Los becerros. So I'm like, I want him to do all of that, you know, like I want him to be like you guys, where you go to Mexico and you are just like, it's just your second home. It's not, you're not visiting Mexico, you know, you're like just coming home to your second home. So it's like, I just want, like, I'm glad that he's this young and we could just start it now, you know, like going back and like he just knows in there. And it's like, when I think about it here, it's kind of hard for us because we see him at the park and he can't really talk to the kids and he can't really communicate. But it is like, we're so proud that at least he can communicate to all of our older family members, you know. So I'm just excited. Like, I've been waiting for this for so long, but for me it's amazing. But just to know, like, my little boy that is a fluent Spanish speaker, loves horses, loves anything rancho. Like, he sees a barn and he's like, oh, yo quiero ir a la granja, you know. Like, he's gonna have so much fun with his grandpa over there. And yeah, I just feel like I'm not gonna be able to keep him inside. You know, he's just gonna be out there.
So fun. But make sure you guys follow us on Instagram, follow us on Snapchat, and just follow us on YouTube, because our content will, for the next probably month, will turn a lot into Spanish, which yo sé que muchos de ustedes les gusta los videos en español, because it's like so refreshing, and we honestly love it too. But obviously, you know, a lot of the times it's so funny that when you and I talk, it's English. Yeah. But then when we get home, it's puro Spanish. You know?
For real, huh? I hadn't even thought about that.
Or even now with Belen, like, now that I'm a girl dad and I'm like less strict, I guess, I be talking hella English to Belen. Like, I just be talking to her like normal, like, oh, my mom is. With Franco, we were so careful, right? Hola, Franco, ¿cómo estás? Blah, blah, blah. And now Belen, I'm like, nah, mija, aquí, véngase. Que sea mi no sabo ella. But just kidding. Obviously, she has to learn Spanish too. But
oh yeah, that's just something that we're very, what is it called?
Conscious.
Yeah, conscious about. I don't know. I mean, and I think it just comes from us having family members, like our little cousins, that don't talk any Spanish. Like, my little cousins don't talk Spanish either, or they do, but it's like very no sabo vibes, you know. So it's like, we just want them to be fluent, but like we were. And what, like, I don't think that we have a strong accent, do we?
In de qué? English?
In English. Even if we do, who cares, girl? Like, I can fully communicate in English and fully communicate in Spanish, and no one can ever take that away from me. So it's like, no one can ever take that away from our kids, you know, that they're bilingual in those two languages. And it's amazing, guys. I don't know, like, just the thought, everything just opens up to me. Like, oh, Jonathan wants to go to Mexico for Christmas. Let's go. Like, he doesn't have to be like, hey babe, should I go for Christmas or New Year's? Which one would you rather have me here for? Like, no, like, let's go. Any, like, I'm talking about like any vacation, like spring break, Thanksgiving. Hey, you want to go to, let's go to Mexico, you know? Like,
guys, screw Mexico. I told Blanca, I was like, babe, we're getting, because I'm a freaking, like, I would be a travel junkie, right? But obviously I don't want to do anything without my wife. But I was like, we get Mexico out of the way, follow us on YouTube. You're not gonna catch us home. That's all I'm gonna say. Real. We have a lot of work, but hopefully we can soon. But I was like, my dream has been to visit the pyramids of Egypt, Bali, Australia, Spain, all this stuff. Like I want to do it already, you know. So yeah, I was like, that, like, sacamos a Mexico out the way, and then boom.
But I really want to go to Mazatlan, Cancun.
Nah.
Wait, that's not fair. You already went, so I want to go too.
We're going to.
Like, another thing is that I was telling Jonathan that for Franco's 3rd birthday, because we kind of did want to do kind of annual Disney, kind of not, but this year we're actually going to go to Disney for sure for Penny's 1st birthday. Yeah. So I was like, for Franco's 3rd birthday, I think we should just go to Hawaii to stay at the Aulani Resort, which is a Disney resort in Hawaii. So I was like, I know that you can go because Hawaii is part of the United States and you can travel there safely, but it's like, now I'm really not scared to go, you know? Yeah. So I don't, like, you guys gonna catch me in Hawaii and Cancun, Mazatlan, where else? And isn't that so crazy, babe, that you have like all these plans of going to the pyramids and like wherever Europe, and I'm over here like, I just want to go to Mazatlan, please, or like Puerto Peñasco. You know how they talk so good about that. So yeah, it's just like guys, I swear to you, todavía no me cae el 20. And I remember when we were landing to Durango with my advance parole and you were recording me. like my thought was like, I'm just gonna start crying because I'm so happy. But I was still like, no, like I'm not I'm not here for good, you know, like I'm not here because like, you know, like it was an emergency, like I couldn't just stay there, and I didn't even know if I was gonna safely parole back into the US. And now it's like when I land, I don't even know, like I'm already getting the knot in my throat, you know, like I'm just gonna bawl.
That's crazy. Yeah, guys, but anyways, that's been our little story, our little journey. If you're listening to this, we just want to encourage you guys. If you're listening to this and maybe you're in a position where you can't travel out of the United States, whether, you know, you don't have DACA, you don't have citizenship, just hang on in there. Don't give up. Everything's going to be okay. And look, at the end of the day, and if you can't, you don't have a husband or a wife or kids to get te arreglen, what better country to be stuck in than the United States? All right, I'm going to go little Mr. Uncle Sam right here, little pro America, but America has it all, guys. Like this, we're like, my mom's always been grateful for this country, for the opportunity, and so have I. Like the fact that we can raise our kids somewhat safely, you know, compared to other countries, start businesses, do all this stuff. And like, you can go to you can go to Colorado and snowboard. You can go to Miami and lay on the beach or in the sun. You can go to Texas and hunt. You can go to, you know, San Diego and then surf. Like there's like, imagine being stuck in freaking Russia where like it's cold year round and there's no beaches. So I'm just saying, like, at least try to see the bright side of things if you are in this country without like any chance to leave. Like at least you're stuck in the best one.
Yeah, and another thing too is like if you have that guy and you have talked to your attorney and have had the option to do advanced parole, I know, like, trust me, I know it is such a scary thing to do, but with you having that opportunity, I promise you it's gonna open so many doors with you having that legal entry. Like, please do it. And I know it's scary, but just, and I would 1,000% recommend for you to do it before this next election, guys, because you never know. Yeah. With every election, everything changes, so might as well, you know, do it before all the things change again. But yeah, that's basically our podcast today, guys. Nosotros estamos en Mexico. Like, one thing I cannot get out of my head is, first, el agua de coco de Durango y la nieve de Chilo. Like, I'm so excited. No, but another thing that I'm excited for is las quesadillas que hace la abuela de Jonathan. Oh my God.
The ingredients are just much better in Mexico.
Yeah, and everything just tastes 10 times better. And I don't know. I'm so excited. We're over there. Make sure you catch up with us over on socials. And I think next podcast, we'll take into consideration all your comments and see what the next podcast will be about.
Should we take our podcast equipment
to Mexico?
Or just record a podcast on our phones? Remember we did that once? At the Sherman house, we were literally holding our phones like this.
And what would we talk about? Or with who?
We'd bring on all our cousins and my grandparents and one big podcast.
Oh, that would be cute. But yeah, anyways, that's it for today, guys. We have so much to do. But without further ado, we'll see you guys next week.
Later.
Yay Networks.